The film opens with Vivian stepping out of a taxi, heading into a salon for a manicure. She shares with Becky, the shop owner, that she recently moved to the neighborhood. Excitement fills Vivian as she appreciates finding Becky's salon. However, Becky discloses that her shop is being sold to a real estate group, hinting at a broader trend of property acquisition in the Bronx. As Vivian leaves, real estate broker Frank arrives to finalize the deal. After the paperwork is signed, a vampire emerges behind Becky, killing her while Frank watches. Meanwhile, in another part of the Bronx, resident Miguel is busy putting up flyers for a block party he's organizing. The next morning, Miguel continues posting posters, and Tony's local corner store, facing closure, becomes a focal point of concern in the neighborhood. Later, Miguel and Bobby convene at Tony's, engaging in conversation outside. During their discussion, they encounter Rita, Miguel's crush, and her friends. Miguel extends an invitation to the upcoming party, to which they agree, with the condition of having a good time. While strolling through the streets, they notice that Becky's store is now boarded up, signaling its recent purchase. In the evening, Bobby and Miguel rendezvous with their friend Luis. Amid their conversation, Henny, a gang leader, and his boys pass by. Henny instructs Bobby to meet him later for a job. Intrigued, Miguel inquires about Bobby's involvement with Henny, but Bobby deflects the question. Shortly after, they reach the courthouse, only to discover that Morning Group has also acquired it. Miguel suggests they continue posting flyers, but Bobby and Luis choose to head to Tony's place for video games. After their departure, Miguel places a flyer on one of More News' signboards. While doing so, a peculiar-looking man emerges from the courthouse, prompting Miguel to swiftly hop on his bicycle and pedal away. During his escape, Miguel unexpectedly encounters Slim, one of Henny's boys, who becomes agitated after Miguel accidentally spills his drink. Slim starts chasing Miguel until they reach a parking lot, where Miguel successfully evades him. Suddenly, the courthouse man reappears and confronts Slim. With tension escalating, Slim points his gun, warning the man to stay back. Approaching Slim, the man renders him motionless, revealing himself as a vampire. In a swift attack, the vampire eliminates Slim. Arriving at Tony's, Miguel urgently informs the group about the vampire's attack on Slim. Before he can finish, the vampire arrives at the door. The boys hide as Tony interacts with the vampire, who purchases a bottle of hand sanitizer before leaving. Later, at the parking lot, Miguel recounts the incident, claiming the vampire killed Slim. Despite their search, they find no trace of anything amiss. The next day, Miguel gathers his friends, and they head to Tony's place. Eager to learn about protecting themselves from vampires, the group watches a Blade movie. They compile a list of vampire weaknesses and deterrents. Luis reveals that vampires have nests where they sleep during the day and emphasizes that vampires need an invitation to enter homes or stores. Following this information, the trio visits a Morning Properties office to uncover the vampire's daytime resting place. Frank at the office threatens them, insinuating their potential disappearance without notice. Despite the threat, before leaving, the boys manage to discreetly snatch a purse from Frank's table. While examining the stolen purse, the trio discovers a USB drive containing the vampire's plans for nests across the Bronx. A skeletal key is also found, sparking their curiosity. Realizing the file isn't substantial evidence, Miguel suggests capturing a video of the vampires at rest. They head to the courthouse, suspecting it might be the vampire's nest. Upon entering, they find coffins on the floor. Miguel opens one, revealing a sleeping vampire. The boys hastily record a video as evidence. However, Bobby's phone rings, awakening the vampires. Narrowly escaping, they exit the building. Outside, the trio is apprehended for trespassing. Miguel attempts to warn residents about the vampires, showing them the video. However, the recording only displays him opening an empty coffin, leading to skepticism and laughter from the onlookers. In a determined effort to prove his point, Miguel challenges Frank to step into the sun. To his surprise, Frank walks into the sunlight unharmed. However, Frank soon discovers that the skeletal key is missing. Unbeknownst to Frank, Miguel kept the key, considering it significant. Later, Frank meets with Henny and his boys, presenting a contract to create chaos in the neighborhood, aiming to pressure stubborn property owners into selling. Subsequently, Luis calls Miguel, revealing that Frank's resilience to sunlight indicates he's human. Luis discloses that vampires employ humans to run errands during the day, promising them vampirism in return. Later, Henny visits Bobby at his place, offering him a job opportunity. Intrigued, Bobby agrees. Meanwhile, Miguel and Luis convene at church for the evening mass. In another part of town, Vivian visits the bodega, discussing plans to cook for Miguel's block party with Tony. However, Tony becomes suspicious when he notices Vivian has no reflection in the mirror or on the camera. Attempting to warn Miguel, Tony is attacked and terminated by Vivian. Back at the church, Miguel and Luis sneak into the sacristy to steal holy water. They manage to escape, but are confronted by Rita. Meanwhile, at Henny's place, Bobby discovers that Henny is working for Frank, and they are searching for Miguel. Finding a way to escape, Bobby rushes to warn his friends of the imminent danger. Meanwhile, Miguel, Luis, and Rita pass by Tony's boarded-up store. Bobby joins them, and they manage to enter the store. Armed with Tony's baseball bat, Miguel vows to eliminate the vampires. Just as they prepare, Henny and his boys arrive. Miguel and his friends escape through the back, only to confront vampires. Running in the opposite direction, they face a relentless chase. Henny and his boys, still in pursuit, inadvertently encounter the vampires and attempt to rob them. Although the gangsters shoot down the vampires, they quickly rise again. While fleeing, Miguel and his friends run into Vivian. She volunteers to take them home. Upon reaching Miguel's place, the group realizes Vivian is a vampire when the holy water they carry starts boiling. Vivian, revealed as the vampire's commander, demands the key from the boys. Miguel bravely spills holy water on her, causing Vivian to retreat. The group decides to stay indoors until dawn. Later, Frank seeks to become a vampire, but Vivian refuses. The next day, Miguel and his friends prepare to confront the vampires. They head to the courthouse, discovering the coffins have been moved. As the holy water boils again, Miguel sends Rita for help while they locate the vampires. Following the holy water's guidance, they find the vampires hanging upside down. After staking two, Vivian remains with two others awake. She discovers the key in Miguel's bag, using it to open a box with the ashes of the first vampire. Planning to create an army, Vivian is interrupted by Miguel, who throws holy water and attempts to escape. Luis is separated from the group, but he manages to terminate a vampire using his skateboard as a stake. Meanwhile, Vivian catches up to Bobby and Miguel, incapacitating Miguel. Just as she's about to terminate him, Rita arrives with residents armed with homemade weapons, sparking a fierce fight. During the struggle, Miguel stabs Vivian with Tony's bat, terminating her. 2 weeks later, passing by a mural in Tony's memory, Miguel heads to the block party with his friends, concluding that they have become proficient vampire hunters. With this movie concludes, I hope you have liked Movie Recap. Please like, share, and subscribe for more